It's 8:30. Good morning. I'm Lauren Freemantle with Hunter News. Holiday traffic in the Hunter between Beresfield and Raymond Terrace is expected to build up shortly, and motorists are being warned to allow extra travel time. Delays of up to 1 hour are anticipated between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. Motorists heading from Sydney are advised they need to be in the right lane for the Pacific Highway at the John Renshaw Drive traffic signals at Beresfield. Alf Paranihi from the Transport Management Centre says to allow extra time, plan ahead and drive safely this Christmas period.
Our advice to any motorists travelling over the holidays is to plan ahead and just allow plenty of additional travel time, especially at Beresfield. Now, everyone is used to seeing the roundabout. There are traffic signals here now, so just be mindful as you approach Beresfield and John Renshaw Drive. So definitely allow some additional travel time and also exercise caution through the area.
Meanwhile, police have launched Operation Safe Arrival and double demerits are now in force. Any school zone offences today will also attract an additional point on top. City of Newcastle says former councillor Aaron Buman's Mayfield boarding house is almost set to reopen. Mr Buman wrote to council on Monday saying he'd completed work to remove unauthorised structures from the site. Investigation officers say there's some final works to be completed, but it's on track to gaining a fire safety certificate soon. The boarding house was shut down in September due to issues of non-compliance with building codes. Despite some gusty winds in the Upper Hunter, our region has largely missed out on what's been labelled a disastrous overnight storm to lash the Central Coast and Sydney. Hailstones 8 centimetres in diameter were recorded, with the Australian Insurance Council deeming the weather to pose an insurance catastrophe, with hundreds of thousands of dollars of damage caused. Endeavour Energy's Peter Payne says thousands of homes and businesses are without power there.
We currently have 5,500 customers who are still without supply this morning. Those customers are primarily along the Hawkesbury River between Mount Maruta and Wiseman Ferry and across into the Lower Macdonald Valley.
The Catholic Church says former Adelaide Archbishop Philip Wilson will focus on regaining strength after his ordeal, being convicted of child abuse concealment, then having the conviction overturned. The Director of Public Prosecutions has announced it will not appeal the ruling made by Newcastle District Court Judge Roy Ellis, who quashed the conviction on December 7. The DPP says it has no right of appeal, with appeals only made on errors of law. New South Wales Attorney General Mark Speakman is now seeking independent legal advice. 3 months after her disappearance from Waratah, police are renewing their plea for information on the whereabouts of Newcastle woman Cecilia Devine. Cecilia turns 42 today, and her family or friends haven't seen her since she went missing on September 5. There's been reported sightings of her in the Blue Mountains and Hornsby areas, but the trail's gone cold. You can find a picture of Cecilia on the 2NURFM Hunter News Facebook page. And the Rock petrol station at Tea Gardens will reopen by Christmas Eve without its iconic Uluru Shell. The Leyland Brothers structure burnt down in a terrible fire in August, but fire crews managed to save the station's petrol pumps from damage. Managers say they've got a few finishing touches to put on the place, which will open with a convenience shop next door.
2NURFM Sport.
The Newcastle Jets W League side will be hoping to get in some much-needed practice this Sunday when they travel to the Gold Coast to take on China in a friendly. The Jets currently sit 7th on the W League ladder and have been hit with the blow of losing American flyer Taylor Smith to a season-ending knee injury. Coach Craig Dean says he believes the trip away as a team will help bring his side together for the rest of the season, which he hopes will help the Jets return to finals football. Newcastle City junior cricket prospect Abby Taylor has been named to take part in a Women's Big Bash League under-18 exhibition match next month. Taylor will take her place in the Lanning 11 against the Perry 11 in the match, which will feature after the Sydney Thunder and Melbourne Stars BBL game on January 5. The teams were selected by Cricket Australia's youth selection panel, headed by Head of Female Performance Lee Polton. Merewether cricket captain Simon Moore says barring any further rain damage or dramatic changes to the pitch, he's keen to continue batting at Townsend Oval when their match against Belmont gets back underway. Moore's team go into the second half of the game with a 1-run lead after finishing last Saturday at 4 for 80 in reply to Belmont's 79. And Dimi Petratos has been left out of the 23-man Socceroos squad for the Asian Cup. The winning numbers in Thursday Powerball are 19, 5, 24, 13, 9, 32 and 20, and the Powerball is 15. 2NURFM News Time 26 to 9.